Hello. So for this project, I created my own version of the Methaphone. Just as a reminder, the Methaphone started as an artist concept of a fake phone, shaped piece of glass that satires how dependent we are on technology. This idea that people who are compulsive phone checkers might reach for the Methaphone instead of their actual phone, kind of tricking themselves into breaking the habit. So I thought that was really interesting because it shows how design and affordances shape our behavior. So, since I don't have access to a glass cutting machine, I decided to make mine with simple household items that I have with me. So, what I wrote in my paper is different from what I have here because I realized I didn't have those items. So, this is it. And what I used was 4 layers of cardboard, and then I wrapped it with aluminum foil and then put a plastic baggie over it. I cut it into the same size as my actual phone so it would be more realistic in my hand. Um, I put it with a plastic bag over it so it gave it more of like a glossy screen like surface, I guess. And under the plastic bag, I added the aluminum foil so it kind of reflects the light like a screen would of a phone. I thought about using like an old plastic container or like a DVD case cover, but the cardboard ended up being easy to work with, and I don't even have a DVD case cover with me, unfortunately. But what I like is that from a distance, it kind of looks like a scratched up phone. One of the challenges I had with this was trimming the edges so they weren't like jaggeded. I try to make it as straight as possible, like a phone would be. But once I smoothed it out, it was surprisingly like close enough to like holding like a real phone. What makes the Methaphone so interesting is its lack of affordances. A normal phone has endless affordances like touching and scrolling, swiping, taking photos, messaging, and everything else. My Methaphone, on the other hand, literally doesn't do anything. The only affordance that it offers is being held and maybe giving me the comfort of feeling like I have a phone in my hand. But honestly, that alone was eye opening to me. When I carried it around for a day, I caught myself reaching for it to check for messages and notifications that obviously were not there. It really highlighted how automatic those behaviors were. The Methaphone doesn't vibrate, it doesn't light up. It's just the shape and I guess the weight of it that were enough to trigger my habits. This connects back to what we've been learning in class about how technology isn't neutral. The design of our devices direct our behavior, and smartphones are intentionally designed to capture attention with notification, vibrations, and endless scrolling. The Methaphone flips that on its head. It looks like a phone, but takes away all of those affordances, showing just how much the form of a phone alone influences us. Carrying around the Methaphone was kind of frustrating at first because I pull it out and then immediately realize that it's not an actual phone and it's completely useless to me. But I think that frustration was the point. It made me think how much I really rely on my phone, and even in small in between moments, like when I'm leaving class and I go on it, or like just standing online to get food at the dining hall. It also showed me how the absence of technology can really affect my mood and attention span. Without my real phone, I was a little more aware of like my surroundings. I was a little more I just said that. I looked up more instead of like staring down just at my iPhone screen. But at the same time, it made me anxious not being able to check like what I want on my phone whenever I wanted to. That tension says a lot about how deeply phones are wired into our daily like routines. In terms of affordances, the Methaphone's lack of functions may reflect on just how powerful real smartphones are in shaping our emotions and attention spans. Even though my version was just cardboard, plastic baggie, and aluminum foil, it actually succeeded in making me more conscious about my habits. So overall, building and carrying my methphone was just a simple project, but it made a big impact about how I think of my relationship with technology. It showed me how much the design of a phone directs behavior when the actual technology is removed. The Methaphone kind of forced me to face those habits directly, and I think that's what made this a really creative and powerful concept. Thank you.